We are continuing with John chapter 18, and Jesus is arrested and he's taken with a detachment of soldiers, and he's followed by Peter and another disciple. And the other disciple is taken into the court because he knows the high priest. But Peter is at the gate, and a servant girl comes up to him and she says, "Aren't you one of this man's followers?" And he says, "No, I am not." And then when Peter is standing around a fire, another person asks him, "Aren't you one of this man's followers?" And he says, "No, I am not." And then the man whose ear he cut off, their relative was there and said, "Didn't I see you at the garden?" And he said, "No, you didn't." And then the rooster crowed. And just as Jesus had predicted, Simon Peter had denied him 3 times. But while Peter was lying, Jesus was telling the truth. Jesus was in the high court and he was telling the truth. He was saying that I have nothing to hide. And then he was taken from the court of the high priest to the Romans. And Pilate says to them, he says, "Why are you bringing this man to me? He's a Jew." And they say, "Because only you have power to execute." So he says, "What is the charges against this man?" And he takes Jesus and he speaks to Jesus for a long time. And during that time, he says to Jesus, "Are you the king of the Jews?" And he says, Jesus says, "You have said so." And then after a long time, Pilate brings him out and he says to the Jews, "I have found nothing against this man, but as per your laws, I have to release someone at Passover. So do you want this Jew?" And they say, "No, give us Barabbas." And this was a picture of what would happen at the cross. Because you see, Barabbas was part of a gang. He was part of an uprising. He deserved to die. But Jesus was innocent and he didn't die. But Jesus died on the cross and Barabbas was set free. Just like what would happen later at the cross, where Jesus was innocent, but he died for our sins so that we may be set free. Be blessed.